to other stories now. Government and organized labor will this morning reconvene to continue talks over public sector pay. Labor unions say they want at least 60% increase in their base pay, with talks last Friday ending inconclusively. As the stakeholders return to the table today, what is to be expected? Kweku Asante has more in the following report.
This crucial meeting over salary increase ended in a stalemate, with organized labor unwilling to go back on their demands. A furious Deputy Secretary General of the Trades Unions Congress, Joshua Ansah, said life had become unbearable for many workers.
If they really mean to read the budget, then they should be serious with these negotiations. I'm upset. We are not happy about the way things are going. We are not happy at all, and Ghanaian workers are suffering. You are all workers, we are all suffering. Look at what the living standard is at today.
Executive Secretary of the Civil and Local Government Staff Association, Isaac Bampuado, told journalists government was considering their proposal.
We went through the proposals that we had presented to government, and it looks like there's no mandate from government, so we have asked the meeting to be adjourned for government to come back with a proper mandate.
Meanwhile, Deputy Employment and Labour Relations Minister Bright Rekubrobe says government couldn't reach any consensus with organized labour, hence the decision to adjourn the meeting to today. With the 2023 budget set to be read this week, a decision must be taken in time to be factored in the appropriation, which will be passed by Parliament. The question, though, is if government can afford labour unions' demands in this current harsh economic climate. Kweku Asante, JoyNews.
We can now speak with the General Secretary of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, Thomas Musa, who joins us through Zoom. Now, so where are we now with regards to your negotiations with government?
So thank you very much. Good morning to yourself and all your viewers. I think as of last week Friday, when where the meeting ended inconclusively, we were thinking that today we'll reconvene, but as of now, we've not yet received any invitation. So I cannot confirm whether the meeting will come on or not, because we have not received any invitation. But as of last week when we were leaving, we have then given them our proposals. And the proposals, we have three main items. The first one is that as of 2010, the relativity ratio was 1.7. And the understanding was that steps should be taken to ensure that we close that particular gap. 12 years down the line, nothing has been done. And it is actually widening the wage gap, which is not something that we should encourage, and it's making workers worse off. That is number one. The second item has to do with the differential between the minimum wage and then the base pay. If you recall, in the year 2014, workers were giving 10% pull-up. There was no increment on the base pay, but the minimum wage saw some kind of increment, with the understanding that the following year, which is the 2015, measures will be taken. Unfortunately, in the year 2015, what happened was that workers were giving 30% increment on the base pay, simply meaning that workers were worse off, because technically speaking, it is the only 3% that workers received. But means that 2014, nothing was given. So these are some of the issues that organized labor made it clear to the meeting, that these things ought to be corrected. After we've corrected them, then we can look at adjustment that to be put on these two main issues, and that gives us the third item. So these were the items that we discussed, leading to the proposal of 60% increment on the base pay. Then we take it out from there.
Now, we know the meeting ended inconclusively. What were the responses government tabled to your request that resulted in the meeting ending inconclusively?
Yes, government made table something. I don't want to get into those things. Government table something. Now, what government table, looking at where we are, based upon these three items, analysis and work that we have done, and what government has tabled, we saw that no, that is not the way to go. And that if government is willing to negotiate and also appreciate the issue that we have raised, that for the past 12 years, we really bear the brunt of all the economic challenges. Since 2014 also, we've looked on for these wage differentials to be wide, the gap to be widened, among other things. If care is not taken, the Ghanaian worker will always be worse off. And the earlier the corrections are done, the better for all of us. And so, this particular time, we felt that the time to have these things corrected is now. And that is where we are. And we were thinking that this particular, today, some invitation will come for us, but we don't have any invitation yet. And so we cannot guarantee whether we are meeting today or not, because the onus is on government to give us that invitation. And when the invitation comes, we will certainly respond accordingly.
Well, the invitation hasn't come today, but I'm sure you have expectations as to when this meeting should happen and the sort of things you would want to hear in that particular meeting. What are those? Can you share with us?
Oh, yes. Now, the ball now is in the court of government. What we have done our analysis. You see, this is not like the normal negotiations we normally do. No. There has been certain wrongs that have been done in the past. The wrong number one is that there is a gap of 3% that should be covered, which has not been covered. And that thing has been there for 12 good years, going to 13 years, of which workers have suffered for it. And so if workers have suffered for that for 12 years, government will say no money, bear with us. And we have been patient for 12 good years. Aside that particular one, I've given you the wage differentials between the minimum wage and then the base pay. Along the line, government came again saying that, not bridging the gap, government came again saying that, look, I don't have resources. Can I pay you COLA in 2014? We agreed. We agreed to that particular one in 2014 because we believe that we need to help Madagascar to get all these things resolved. And then the following year, 2015, before we say that the increment that came was 30%, meaning that technically speaking, it was that 3% that government gave us, because if you take the 10% out of the 30%, you're left with 3%. So that was 3% that we were giving. Bearing in mind that there was no movement or there was no increment on the base pay in the year 2014. And so this time around, we said, look, we cannot allow this kind of wrongs to continue. Otherwise, a day is coming, it will have serious and terrible effect on the worker, particularly when the worker is going on retirement.
Okay.
So,
but once you've not had the invitation, when are you expecting to be invited to this meeting for this negotiation to be concluded so we move forward?
Well, we cannot determine that. We discussed with government, and government told us that the government side told us that they will let us know the next line of action. So we are waiting for them. We are waiting. We are ready. Anytime they call, we'll go and negotiate. We are waiting for them.
Okay. All right. I'm grateful that you could join us.
Thank you very much.
Morning.
God
So
bless you.
Thomas Musa is the General Secretary of NAT. Let's wait.